All right, my little laser kittens, please welcome back to the stage, Stacy Halal.
Good work, everybody. Everybody, you put the time in, you did it well. Good job, good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Woo! I know, I think this is the year the decorations took over New Year's. So excited to have you guys here. So excited to have we got 3 stand-ups for you, and then we're gonna do the midnight champagne toast. So I hope you're all ready for that. We'll be bringing you champagne at your tables. You all have wristbands. And so I'm gonna bring out your host for this whole segment. She is one of the funniest and kindest human beings ever. She's done All Jane Comedy Festival here for many, many years. Yeah, All Jane Comedy Festival. It's an all-women's comedy festival we do here at Carrier's Comedy. If you haven't seen it, you should do it. It's every October. Andie also hosts Revolution Comedy every 4th Monday. Its door profits go toward progressive causes. It's super awesome shows. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Andie Main.
Oh my God! Curious Comedy Theater, thanks for coming out on New Year's, everybody. Give it up for yourselves. Happy New Year! Fuck 2017! Fuck it to death! Did any of you guys go to the Slut Walk this year? A couple of sluts in the audience, that's awesome. The rest of you went to the Prude Parade, that's cool. Slut Walk, for those who don't know what it is, it's a body positivity movement. It's a sex positivity movement. It's for people of all genders and sizes and shapes and colors. Just get together for a very radical message in 2017, which is that sex is normal. Yeah, you can just fuck. It's cool, right? Like sex happens, right? Mike Pence, people fuck. Mike Pence, you can't do anything about it. Have you guys been calling your congressmen and senators every day? Like I have? Oh, hell yeah, that's been so much fun. What I do is I drink a bottle of wine every night, and then I just call Jeff Merkley and let him know all my thoughts. And then, did you guys know that Mike Pence's voicemail is still open from when he was a governor in Indiana and he ruined it? That voicemail is still open. You can still call Mike Pence and talk to him about shit. It's totally true for the premise of this joke. So after I called Jeff, I'm like, hey, Mike Pence, guess what? People fuck. You can't do nothing about it. You can't legislate my queerness. I can't tell you to stop calling your wife mother. Let's call it quits. It's awesome. Then I hit redial, so I'm totally on a list, guys. Totally on a list. Anyway, back to the Slut Walk. I had a really weird conversation with my mom on the phone about the Slut Walk. And my mom is like a 60-year-old Catholic Republican, so we party all the time. So here's how the conversation went. It started off fine. Mom just wanted to get to know her daughter better. She was just like, hey, Andie, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, oh, hey, Mom, I'm going to the Slut Walk. Oh, no. And then Mom was like, Andie, don't you think it's embarrassing to be a slut on parade? And I was like, Maggie, don't you think it's embarrassing that your generation created a society so toxic a bunch of sluts have to get together and have a parade to fix your patriarchal bullshit? You goddamn baby boomer! And then she was all like, I'll pray for you. And I was like, I hope it works this time. And so far it hasn't. Isn't that weird? It's almost as if God doesn't exist. I was driving to the Slut Walk and I saw one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen in my whole goddamn life. I saw this mother-daughter team. They were waiting for the bus to go to the Slut Walk. And I could tell, because this 15-year-old girl had a sign that said, my pussy, my choice. And you could tell her mom helped her with the sign. Like, it looked really good. You could tell the mom was like, how do I go to Pinterest and make that pink pussy sparkle? And sparkle it did, my friends. It was perfect. And I was so moved by that moment, like this autonomy between mother and daughter, that like when I drove by them, I couldn't help it. I rolled down my window, I beat my horn, and I yelled out the window, "Fuck yeah, get it, girl, yeah!" And then I drove another block, and I was like, shit. I just got called the slut walk. It's the most ironic thing that's ever happened to me, you guys. And what do I do to fix that situation? Like, should I drive around the block and come back and be like, "Hey, I'm really sorry, yo, fuck yeah, get it, girl, at your 15-year-old daughter was coming from a place to support Rosie the Riveter," right? Like, no, I didn't do that, you guys. I just did the most passive-aggressive thing possible, which is to march next to them and never make eye contact. Nailed it. Portland to the core, you guys. 2017 fucking sucked. I'm so glad to see the end of it. Fuck you, 2017. It was the worst year I've been alive. And like there are some interesting things that happen. I don't want to say interesting. That sounds like a sociopath. One thing that I didn't see happening that did happen in 2017 is that we're winning the culture war. Did you guys know that we're winning the culture war? Like it's amazing, because like the NFL is on the side of the resistance now. I'm super stoked about that. I didn't know what a quarterbacker does, but I totally researched it. They're on the right side of history. It's good. Like, we fucking won Alabama. I didn't see that happening. Oh, thanks, guys. I'll take credit for it. Like, Alabama's on the resistance. Welcome, Alabama. And then, like, Eminem is woke now. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Insane clown posse is on the left now. That's really fucking weird. So, like, what this boils down to is that, like, Trumpers are boycotting that now. They're boycotting NFL. They're boycotting Alabama. They're boycotting white hip-hop. So that's ours now, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm just happy they can't have it. Because I thrive off of spite. That's how I get by. And like, you know, I've learned so much about America this year, and so many ugly things about America. Like, I didn't know we had a racist statue problem, and now that I know about it, don't worry, I totally fucking hate it. But like, I have a couple solutions to our problems. I would like to propose that, like, you know, when I hear about, like, in the South with the racist statue problem, I want to tear them all down. I know that that's very radical and everyone's pulling back from me right now, but fuck it, I want to tear them all down. If we can't do that, let's just change the conversation. Let's be more empowered about our numbers. Let's, like, take the Women's March a little bit further. Let's, like if we can't tear down a statue of Robert E. Lee, let's just put a cooler statue next to it. Right? It doesn't have to be like the best American in the world. It doesn't have to be like Obama or Oprah or Spielberg. We can just put a statue of like a single mom next to Robert E. Lee, right? And she's just staring at him with her arms crossed, and she's just like, "You're a racist piece of shit, Robert E. Lee." And that could be the little plaque at the bottom there. We won that conversation, right? Like, I think that's something we should do. Portland has a weird billboard problem going on. I don't know if you guys have noticed a lot of pro-God billboards popping up, which I consider a problem. But they're so stupid. Like, there's one that I saw recently, which was like, it was a monkey and then a man, and then the monkey had a red X on it. It's like, no monkey, just man, 1-800-GOD. And it's like, that's not even enough numbers to call anybody. And I would like to propose that if that billboard makes you start believing in God, maybe you're not so much into theology as you're just super into billboards. There's a lot of anti-abortion billboards popping up, and I see one every day on my way to work, and it's like, it's a black and white billboard. It has a fetus because of branding, and and then it just says like, abortion stops a beating heart. And every day when I see that on my way to work, I take a second, I look at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it totally does. That just means abortion's effective. Yeah, little edgy, okay? Little edgy, guys. Get into it. 2018 is gonna be even worse. Maybe we can start putting up our own pro-abortion billboards behind those ones, right? Like maybe we can find some message that all of the Republicans get behind where they're like, oh yeah, abortion's just a medical procedure. Maybe we could just figure out some sort of message, like it could just be me doing stand-up for a bunch of strangers on New Year's Eve. It could just say, let's keep this hair out of the gene pool. Go abortion. You know, like I think everyone could get behind that. I don't need to procreate. We don't need that. No, don't support me procreating. That's weird. All right, this last part, this is gonna be a hurdle for us all to get through comedically. I'm just gonna be up front with you right now. We've been through a lot already. It's gonna get weirder, okay? So like there's this really fucked up billboard on the way to Seattle, up I-5 in Chehalis, Washington. As soon as you start describing, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's this fucking Uncle Sam billboard. It's been reliably fascist for like the last 30 years. And, like the origins of it, this like libertarian dude was living on his farm and one day he was like, I'm mad as hell, I'm not gonna take it anymore. And so what he did is draw this terribly rendered Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam that I would argue is so ugly, it's actually anti-patriotic. And the messages have always been reliably fascist. Like in the last 5 or 10 years, it's always just said the same old shit like, oh, Obama's gonna steal your guns, or like, oh, Hillary Clinton's a woman. You know, just like the old hits, right? And now shit has gotten a lot darker for our libertarian friend. Like he's tired of winning, I guess, because like, I drove to Seattle 2 weeks ago, and I saw this with my own eyes. The billboard is gnarly. It's downright gnarly, guys. Right now, it says, embrace yourselves, okay? New Year's Eve, happy crowd for fucking New Year's. Let's get real, okay? 2017 sucked. This is what the billboard says. It says, freedom is dangerous. Slavery is safety. Yeah. Let that Orwellian bullshit sink in. Like, I Googled it. I was so shocked by it, I Googled it. It turns out that Thomas Jefferson said that. It just wasn't jazzy enough to put in Hamilton. And I would like to propose that after we're done with like the pro-abortion billboard we're gonna do after this, maybe we should put our money together and come up with a cooler billboard but to put behind that one. Because like collectively imagine the horror when you drive up I-5 and see that fucking fascist bullshit, but then 2 miles later you just see a billboard in black and white letters. We never have to change the message. It could just always say, huh. Wasn't that some bullshit? Yeah, problem solved, right? Okay, guys. I'm so excited to bring your next comedian to the stage. Are you guys excited for more comedy, everybody? Hell yeah. Our next comedian coming to the stage, he's one of the spry young up-and-comers in Portland. He's killing it all over the place. He runs a show every Wednesday at 9:30 at Mississippi Pizza called You're Welcome. And you are all welcomed for enjoying his comedy. Put your hands together for Marcus Coleman, everybody!
What's up, y'all? What's up? Good to see y'all. This is dope. Happy to be here. My name is Marcus Coleman. I'm 25 years old, and I know how surprised y'all are to hear that. I've seen myself. I know what I look like. I am the world's oldest 25-year-old. I've looked like this since I was 13. I'm gonna look like this when I'm 35. Because that is the secret to black people. Curious Comedy Theater. That's the secret. It's not that we age better than you. I got a controversial opinion. I don't know if we age better. I think that might be propaganda. I think we might have made that up. Or at least I have an outside-the-box opinion. I think we just look real old young and then grow into it. Like a big-ass t-shirt. Feeling older. feeling on that purpose, like I'll go in downtown Portland, I'll see younger black dudes, younger than me, with this new haircut that's all the rage. I don't know if you've seen them. I don't know how hip this room is. I don't know if anybody in here is an AAU basketball coach or a Baptist preacher. I don't know if you're interacting with the youths, but there's a new haircut that's all the rage. It's like a big, like, puffy, shaved on the sides, but blonde up top, like Spartan helmet mohawk type deal. Y'all seen these dudes? Y'all seen them? I see them and I can't relate. I see these dudes and I start feeling so much older, you know, and my posture gets bad, you know, holding on my back. I start bitching about the price of bread back in my day and about how they don't make women like Lizzie McGuire anymore. Know that old chestnut? They just don't make them like that no more, man. Those were the days back when men were men. But that's just the mental side of it. That's just the mental side of it. The physical manifestation is my newfound inability to drink milk, specifically whole milk. Like there was an old racist myth that was perpetrated back in slave times that black people have an extra bone in our feet, and that's why we can like tomahawk dunk and electric slide and shit. And if that were true, I would gladly trade that in for whatever extra stomach line that white people have that allow y'all to drink whole milk with impunity. Like it's gotten to a point where I'm starting to get paranoid. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart, deep down. Like the government created crack, why not this, right? Like I'm starting to think milk is some form of FDA approved biological warfare perpetrated against the black man. Homogenized oppression created in a lab along with the carcinogens in Kool-Aid and Russian twerk videos. They've done the research, they know our weaknesses. But seriously though, like I risked it all for a bowl of Kroger brand Fruity Pebbles. And my body rejected that whole milk like an IUD. No, I'm not as tough as I thought I was. I realized that. I'm not as tough as I thought I was. From St. Louis originally. Okay, gang, we in the building. And I learned I'm not as tough as I thought I was. Downtown, I grew up in 14th Street, a now defunct project building. You know, you grow up in a situation like that, fist fighting other little dusty dudes and stealing entire boxes of oatmeal cream pies from Dollar Tree. You start to think you're a badass, right? Like rules don't apply to you. You're some kind of outlaw. But I realized I'm not half as tough as any of the women in my family. I learned that. Come from a lineage of incredibly strong Southern black women. Like my grandmother is from Mississippi, Cleveland, Mississippi, which is as bad as it sounds. She moved up to Missouri. She worked 25 years at Chrysler, putting together minivans with her hands to feed her family. She had 3 boys, 1 daughter, my aunt, who was shot twice in the head while pregnant during an attempted carjacking in downtown St. Louis. She lived and she had the baby. Right? Yeah, clap it up for her. She deserves it. She can't hear you, but I'm fucking around. She's good. She had the baby. Now I, on the other hand, patriarch of the family, baby boy, the namesake, the protector, last hope. I recently cried when I cramped up during sex, so not nearly as tough as the women in my family. That's embarrassing, it is. It's embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed about like my potassium intake. I can always eat more bananas and drink more coconut water. Not even embarrassed because she saw me cry. It's almost 2018, we passed that. I'm embarrassed because she saw me stretch naked. Like, I had to fake a lot of cool to get her in that bedroom, and all that's out the window when you're doing front-facing lunges with your dick out. Like, it's hard to be cool and get your hamstring limp at the same time. It's hard to do both. And I wish I could tell y'all that I cramped up during like an impressive, impractical sex move like the wheelbarrow or the people's elbow or some shit. But nah. I cramped up on the bottom. I was on the bottom. It's shameful. It is. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. But that's not the worst part, honestly. Worst part is I don't think she knew I had those socks on until we turned the lights on. Oh, shit. Ho, ho. Where my fellas at? Ho, ho. Fellas? Ho. Nobody's with me on this, fella? All right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You gotta be sleuthy out here in these streets, man. Gotta be sleuthy in these streets. Want to keep your toesies warm in the bedroom. Because it's Portland. City full of hypocrites. So it's like, oh, it's Portland. We're so sex positive. We don't kink shame. But then a nigga want to wear socks when he fuck, and now I'm weird. Hey, Happy New Year. That's my thing.
Everybody give it for Marcus Coleman, you guys. Go check out his show. You're welcome at Mississippi Pizza. Are you ready to ring in the new year with one of the best comics I know, everybody? Fuck yeah. She's here from LA. She has an album called Intimate Apparel. It's available on iTunes. She's done multiple appearances on the All Jane Comedy Festival. Everybody go fucking buck wild for Riley Silverman!
Keep it going for Andie, guys. Give it up for Why Not? She's right there. It's awkward if you don't. I say it every time. You guys, it's New Year's. Are you guys excited? Oh my God, I'm excited. I'm just trans. Be cool with it. That can be your resolution if you don't have one yet. Just be cool with trans people next year. That would be fantastic for me and everyone I know and love. So, mine this past year was get my hair together, and I think I pulled it off. It's actually doing pretty good. It's nice. I love it. Because I feel like resolutions are fun, but I did one in 2009. My resolution was get comfortable with yourself and come out as trans. And I did that. So I feel like I can coast from now on for every New Year's. Like, what's your resolution this year? Next year, get my eyebrows done once. If I do that, my 2018 is a success as far as I'm concerned. It's fine. The thing about my hair, it's getting frizzy. It's been a rough night. I've been moving around town all night, so it's frizzy. And I tell people that, and they go, welcome to being a woman. And I'm like, oh, was that the thing? Whole teenage years of angst and sorrow just needed some Paul Mitchell prod would have brought it all together. I see how that goes. That's fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a note if you are a non-trans, if you're a cis woman or whatever, if you see a trans woman, guess what? We've all been welcome. We are in the club. We're here, it's fine. And it's also always something dumb like that. It's always like a hair care product thing or like a hair removal thing or like putting like nail polish on tights. If there was something useful, if there was something exciting, just once I wanted to be like, welcome to being a woman. Now our only job is ready when the elder gods come back. Are you prepared? Do you have a cloak? Your mom should have given you a cloak. Were you ready? She might not have known. It's fine. We'll figure something out. Do you have a wand? I'm like, of course I have a wand. I'm a Slytherin. I'm ready for it. What's wrong with you? I dated a lot more this year. I was kind of killing it, actually. I was doing pretty good this year. It was pretty great. But I got dumped at one point, and that sucked. It was it's my first on-paper, we're all lesbians romance. Like, that's what that makes sense. What happened was, I've always been a woman. I've always dated women. She was the first one who knew all of that going into the relationship. Like, that was the first time. And it was great, but then we broke up, so it wasn't that great, apparently. And also, it's like, it made me mad, because like, I'm the most me I've ever been. I'm also the most adorable I've ever been, and we still broke up anyway, and that is awful. Because now I'm like, oh, it's just a personality after all, as it turns out. But also, she dumped me in the worst possible way. She dumped me after she let me pick her up at the airport. Yeah. And not your airport with a very easy exit. I'm talking about like the Los Angeles, LAX airport. Yeah, who's the Sacramento people? You know what I'm talking about. So, let me pick her up at LAX, drive her home, drive her back, drop her off, say goodnight to her, go back to my apartment, and then she calls me and breaks up with me on the phone the night that I dropped her off from the airport. Yeah, I mean, you've been used for sex, I've been used for money. She used me for a lift. She didn't give me 5 stars, so the whole thing was bullshit. But also, the only good thing about that is I am now actually off the hook for giving anybody else an airport ride ever again in my life. That was amazing. Because I had a friend ask for a ride last week. I'm like, no, it's a trigger, and you should know better. Thank you very much. Been dating again, though, which I'm actually dating someone who lives here in Portland, which is great. It's long distance from LA to Portland, as that's how math works. But we're both queer femmes, and we're dating long distance. So after a while, our flirting has just become us sending each other gifts of women that we both find attractive. Which has boiled down to gifts of Mary Louise Parker on the TV show Weeds. Yeah, drinking iced coffee, which is shockingly versatile gift set for a relationship. It's pretty fantastic. But it's when we've been dating, and it's been weird because their mom gets details mixed up sometimes, and so their mom described me to them as your magician friend. So their mom thinks that I'm a magician instead of a comedian, which is a moment you look at yourself and go, oh, I actually own way too many capes, as it turns out. I need to be careful about that. I flew up here for this night, which is fun. I don't like flying, because TSA does not know what to do with any of what I'm bringing to the table. Like, they're not prepared for it. Like, TSA, they don't have any way of actually stopping a bomb, but they can find a penis on a trans woman anywhere in the line. And I had an issue with them a couple years ago when I had been on hormones for about 6 months, and I went through TSA, I went through security, put my hands in the air like I don't care, like you're supposed to do. And then they stopped me, and they go, hey, we got a bit of an alarm off of you. And I was like, an alarm? What does that mean? Like, well, we used to call people like you an anomaly. But we changed it to alarm, because that was less offensive. And I was like, is it? All right, let's put a pin in that one for now. So what's got to happen next? And they go, well, here's the problem. They show me a picture of my body. It's the outline that you see, hands in the air, and there's a yellow box right over my junk. And then a female TSA agent points to that box and with a straight face looks me in the eye and says, okay, so right here is the problem area. I could have told you that. Like 30 years ago, that could have come up in conversation. So then I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen next? They go, well, we're gonna send it to the machine again, and we're gonna tell it that you're a man. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a big fan of that plan, but I wanna fly today, so I will play ball, or balls, whatever. Just let me get on the plane. So I go back through, hands in the air, starting to care a little bit, being honest with you at this point in time in the story. So I'm like in the line, I'm hands in the air, and then they stop, and then they go, so then what happened was the new girls showed up on the machine. So again, I had been on hormones for 6 months. I had never had breast implants before in my life, and now suddenly I had them because good copays happened. But I didn't know that I had them until I was shown it on the monitor at LAX at the TSA. I missed that day in health class where you find out that you're a woman because a guy with a taser next to a robot lets you know. But now I found out. So then I go, okay, well, what's gonna happen next? And they go, well, either way you got bumped, so we can't clear you. I'm like, that's your policy? That's your rule for the airport? Like, whatever, what's gonna happen? I'll consent to a pat down. Just give me a pat down, it'll be fine. And then they both just blank stare at me. Because now neither one knows whose job it is to touch me. Right? Like they both have hats and badges, but they're both giving me a BuzzFeed either way this goes bad. So they rock, paper, scissors for it, and then the woman lost, right? So then she comes forward to pat me down, and she's like patting me down, she's doing good, and then she gets right around to my waist, and then she locks eyes with me because she realizes what's happening. So then she steps up, she says, okay, I have some questions for you. She goes, if I reach up under your skirt, am I gonna find something up there? Which was 100% of the problem already. And then I'm like, yeah, that's why we're here. You found your machine with the box, the problem area, the anomaly, all of a sudden it happened. And then she goes, okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to ask you, because if I reach up under your skirt, am I gonna find a weapon up there? And then I said, yes, definitely. You're gonna find the cause of all the war, as it turns out. Which I didn't say out loud, because I want to fly ever again in my life. So instead I go, no, it's my junk. It's what you think it is. And she goes, okay, well, that's the thing. So I don't want to reach up and rub and tug on your junk or anything. I'm like, I don't want that either. What do you think this is for me? Do you think me being trans has been some long con that I've been pulling off? To get one high security handy when I'm 33 years old? Because that is a lot of work to pull off to get what is arguably the least satisfying sexual experience a person could have. So then they look at me and they go, you know what, it's fine. We're gonna call Stacy over. She'll deal with Stacy. I did Stacy because of the night. Sharon is the character in this story who is a real person that this happened to. But now I want to say Stacy for the hell of it. We're gonna do it, yeah. So Stacy is the token freak at the airport that night. You know how, like, some restaurants, you have to have a manager who has a key to turn off an alarm? At the airport, Stacy is the token freak to touch whatever weird shit they found along the way. I know, that joke got fucked up by me saying the wrong name. It's fine. That's how we're gonna end. You know what? That's how 2017 ends. The whole world is fucked up because someone said the wrong name on a ballot. So let's go ahead and just call that what it is. And let's bring Stacy out here to bring in the new year with you guys. This is actually perfectly timed almost. This is fantastic. She'll touch whatever. Come on.
Love you. Give it up for Riley Silverman. Come on, more than that. Let me hear it. I'd love to call all the performers who are still here up on the stage. Let's give them all a round of applause. You've seen so many performers tonight. Some coming, they're coming. Hi. Great, what we got 5 minutes, which is more time than a toast really needs. Yeah, can we get some champagne for Riley, please? Get some champagne. Everyone got champagne down there? Cool. While we're doing that, let me just ask everybody to share. All right, great. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. I just want to hear, what are some things you guys are looking for in 2018? Dinosaurs. There aren't. You're going to be so disappointed. There are no dinosaurs in 2018. Oh, now some woman is going to be so disappointed. You're way too old to still be figuring that out. Oh my goodness. How about over here? Well, genuinely, what's something you're looking forward to in the new year? Nobody's got shit. Midterms. Yeah, I just want to say, I feel like, it's been a crazy year. We all got on the dark timeline, and we've been living on that for a year. And the other day I posted something positive about joy, and I almost felt like guilty doing it. Like, is it okay to feel joy right now when things are shitty in general? And I guess that what I'm gonna say in terms of like 2018, let's all celebrate the joyful things in our lives, guilt-free, and like let that kind of feed an energy of joy and love and liking each other and getting along with each other. Because what I love about improv, and I'm so glad you guys are all here tonight, here at Curious, we're up on stage and we play together and we say yes to each other and we enjoy each other. And it's the things that are different about us that make us way more interesting as performers than us all being the fucking same, So let's celebrate what makes each of us unique and different and feed our joy in the new year. That's what I'm looking for in 2018. 2 minutes. Now you want to give me a not stupid answer to my question, motherfuckers? What are you looking forward to in 2018? Getting married. You will also be as disappointed as the dinosaur guy, so. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations. Just kidding. Your nephew's having a baby. Yay! That's another nice thing. That's it. We got 2. It's Fertile Ground. That's awesome. You guys know the Fertile Ground Festival here in Portland? It's all original works at theaters throughout the city. Are you doing a show? What's your show? Where is it?
It's at Hip Bone Studio.
Great. It's called Voodoo Snowball at Hip Bone Studio. Go check that out. That's great. All Jane 2018. It'll be, Yep, we got 1 minute. And this is our 10th year doing this, which I mentioned at the beginning. And it wouldn't happen without the most amazing staff and volunteers and performers who are also volunteers and board members who are volunteers who make this place happen. We are a nonprofit, so let's have a round of applause for our amazing staff. And people like Katie Behrens, who came here 10 years ago. 10 years she's been here at Curious. Bill, how long have you been here at Curious? Bill McKinley, 6 years. DK, how long have you been at Curious? Yeah, like 6 weeks? 6 weeks for DK. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy and healthy New Year! Happy New Year! Thank you guys so much. To a better America in 2018. Happy New Year. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Give it up for yourselves. Happy New Year. The balloons out. I've wanted those balloons for 4 years. Thank you all for coming out and celebrating with us. Happy and healthy New Year. Happy 2018. Come back.